Hello, welcome back. So let me start talking about what I have been noticing lately as I move into this next stage of what I'm going to do as a career, as an empty nester and a former teacher. One of the jobs that I used to have a few years back when I was supplementing my income as an art teacher is I was what you call a vitamin specialist at my local grocery store in Arizona. Shout out to Sprouts. Unfortunately, there is not a Sprout store out here, but what I really loved about that store is it had not only a vitamin department, but it was really good at offering education not only for the associates, but for people who were interested in learning more about living a more healthy lifestyle using supplements and things like that. And I really did love that, because I find that there are times you might be, I said there's lots of information out there, let's just say that. And it's nice to have someone break it down a little more for you. And the other thing that I learned is everybody had their own special remedy that they thought could cure everything. So it's always interesting because there's a lot more to it than that. And so how do you bring education like that in a way that is not so biased based on your own genetics, your own health journey, and things such as that? Because I have been a relatively healthy person all of my life, which I'm so very thankful for. That while I didn't have necessarily the monetary prowess that people around me had, I definitely have been a very healthy person. I haven't really, delved into too much sugar over the years, and, just have had a life that was, been 95% healthy, right? So that's why, if you listen to my last video, when I was telling you about the high blood pressure situation, that's why it was so alarming, because to go from 2 months prior, when I moved out here from Arizona, to having a doctor tell me, okay, whatever you're doing, you need to stop it. I knew exactly what it was. So it just made me take stock in. The thing that I've always said I was thankful for is my health, because I do have friends who have a lot of health issues, and I've been so thankful that I haven't had to battle with doctors, battle diagnoses, battle with trying to find information. And as the years have gone on with some of these friends I've known 18, 19 years, finally the science catches up to what's going on in their body, but they've had to basically keep their mental health intact because they were being treated like they were making things up about their own health and what was going on in their bodies. So I say all that to say is, one of the things that I'm interested in looking into is how to make the space of supplements, herbal supplements and tinctures and things like that, more accessible to the everyday person. Someone who's not necessarily trying to sell you anything, although that could happen in the future, but that you would get to learn right along with me how I'm learning, how I'm digesting the information that I'm reading and being exposed to. So that's one of the things I've been thinking about. The other thing I've been thinking about is, as a woman, I'm 56 years old. I am in menopause, dealing with a lot of the issues such as the inflammation, the bloat around the belly, the need to not over-exercise like I've done in prior decades, and just how to have a healthy lifestyle without going overboard. So one of the other things I wanted to start doing is talking about what it is that I'm doing to naturally combat that. Because, when everyone around you in the media, let's say that, wants to give you a quick fix answer to how to drop weight, it reminds me of those days when all the housing the housing crisis and how everyone wanted to turn a blind eye to, yeah, that was just way too easy. Don't you think that's way too easy? You know, we kind of suspend our wisdom and suspend our common sense for the sake of getting what it is we want quickly, and then just kind of crossing our fingers that it's not bad for us, right? And so that's another one of the topics I want to start talking about. What do you do in menopause that is for the everyday person? Because when I think about, even for example, and I'll do a video on this, how many supplements I have sitting on my counter that I'm supposed to take every day, and then people talking about walking 10,000 steps and all of those things, you know, it all just starts to become this full-time job that you have to start managing yourself in these ways where you need charts and graphs and all those kinds of things. Well, the everyday person, the working class person, isn't going to have time to do all of that. And so what do? Do you just throw up your hands and decide, well, I guess I'm not going to figure this out because it's too complicated, or I don't have the time to do it anyway because I'm too exhausted from the job I have to work, which many times that was the issue with the teaching job that I have, or I had, because while I was getting off work at 3:30, I would come home into this frozen zone where I would just sit there and literally could do nothing. Just couldn't even push myself off the couch to do something else because it took so much mental energy to do what it was that I was doing. So I think that's another thing that I'm going to start exploring is what do we do as women in menopause to really have a practical health regimen, if you will. So those are the two things I'm thinking about. How to make herbal medicine truly hands-on and not requiring so much of this guru-style information in order to make it work for you. And what do we actually need in order to start combating the symptoms of menopause? If you have any other ideas that you think would piggyback with those things, please make sure and put that in the comments below. I really would love to hear it, and I will absolutely respond with a video. All right, talk to you soon.